Good evening, friends and family across the multiverse.
Yes.
It is my pleasure, no joy, no absolute honor to introduce you back to the Blurred Bar. My name is Sterling. Now they call me the Living Codex, okay? The stalwart shield of South Philly, Darth Maul favorite apprentice.
Ooh.
I am Ace Trainer Argent, welcoming you to the bar of the Blurreds.
I don't know this
now,
person.
I am, thank you. I am just one of your three hosts. If you can count, you see we got a little something special today. But I'm one of your three hosts now
only if you can count.
help.
Only if you can count.
Now,
what about for our
all
audio
this black
listeners?
excellence,
Don't do that. Don't do that.
all of this black excellence, I'm going to need some type of expert, maybe even I don't know, like a connoisseur, maybe some
Okay.
type of, I don't know, sommelier, okay?
Oh, you
can go ahead
already
and talk
know
to him.
who it is.
let 'em
It's Big
know.
Dan.
Big
Rodan.
Dan.
Coming at you
Rodan.
live from the 215, the sommelier of sci-fi and superheroes, your comic book connoisseur, here again to welcome you to another episode of the Blurred Bar. My bar flies. One more time.
Now, emerging from the lands of the rising sea, it is he. Talk to him.
Hey! Tis I, hailing from the land of sake, shinobi, and samurai. The boy is Godzilla personified. No other name
Okay.
but this to go by. It's your boy,
The clap! The clap!
Jayhawk.
Want another one?
Now,
Yes.
Go ahead.
Wait. I'm gonna give you another. I'm gonna give you another one. One more time. Here we go.
One more for the ancestors.
Here we go.
There it is.
Now, for the first time, but
First
not the
time.
last, for sure, in Blurred Bar history, we are proud to welcome our guest, Keith Small. The man is going to introduce himself because he just got to do it. Keith, go ahead.
So much
How are you?
sauce.
Thank you for joining us, man.
I mean, thank you all for welcoming me here. I mean, I've seen you guys in work, and I've been a fan since, like, episode 1. Like, this is amazing.
man.
This is kind of...
Hey, thank you.
This is amazing to be here with you guys.
Thank you. I told you so from the get-go. Didn't I tell you you had a seat in the bar? Didn't I tell Hey, what I tell you? What I tell you?
You did
What's
the thing.
that? What's that?
You did the thing.
What's that?
Well, man.
So Keith, tell us about first. Let us know about Muvioes. Let us know about you. Who are you? Where you been? Let's look at that Blackport. What's going on?
So,
Yikes.
I'm Keith Small, host of the Muvioes podcast. A little thing that I came up with. Actually, it started off as the Y'all Be Safe podcast, YBS, but like by the time I got around to making the first episode, the title was already taken. So I had to go around, come up with something. And I was like, you know what? Why come up with like a name that someone can take? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a list of the things that I like: music, movies, sports, sex, video games, and then I'm going to just subtract letters, push it all together, and here we go. Muvioes podcast.
It's like a stew.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gumbo.
That was some alchemy there, some equivalent exchange.
Right?
You know, had to do a little something.
Like,
I'm glad you got all your limbs though.
Of course.
That's great.
I
And
saw
you're not a sad dog, so that's great.
very
Dog,
sad.
come
dog.
on, too soon, dog.
come on.
Too soon.
Don't
dog.
bring that up. It's always going to be too soon.
But now that you guys know who we are, we
Yes.
are going to move into a segment that we like to call Booze,
Booze.
News,
News.
and we might do a little review.
Reviews.
Wow,
So,
he really is a fan. He like hit the echo
He
and
is.
everything.
Yeah. I like it.
I'm real with mine. Come on.
He's real.
wild.
He's real. But so it's kind of a free for all tonight. So gentlemen, let's what do you got, Big Dan? What you sipping on?
I did an ode to the aunties, specifically my aunties. I ain't calling nobody a wino, right? But I used to always see this bottle in my grandmother. Hold on, I'm gonna tell
I wanted the board. I wanted the board, and I was like, "Nah, it's fine."
Nani?
So, no, I used to be in my grandmother's house, and we'd always see this bottle, like this fogged out bottle of wine from Arbor Mist, and I'm like, "Oh, that looked like juice." It was not juice that we was allowed to have.
Yeah.
It is.
It's the juice.
But, you know,
It is
It's
juice.
juice. So I got a little bit of
That's
this.
auntie juice. Don't drink that.
That's auntie's juice. So I don't even know where the bottle is because I was in shame. I was like,
we know what it looked like.
But y'all know what this is.
Don't worry. I'll put a picture up on it.
Keith, what you sipping on, buddy?
Okay, so you know how there's stories about, if you go over to a single mother's house, she always have snacks and goodies and stuff. Well, okay, you like where this is going, right? All right, so I went over to a friend's house. She had some Reese's Cups, some little snacks here and there, some Pepper's Farm cookies, but she also introduced me to the Malibu Splash drinks. Okay, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I thought, I was like, okay, it's gonna be cheesy, like my girlfriend's what are they, the Truly drinks? Yeah, the Truly drinks.
Yeah,
it's like licking my TV. It's disgusting. I can't do it. I can't. So
wait. How do you feel about the Claw though?
This right here.
How do you feel about White Claw though?
Oh, okay. I never had. What is it? White Claw? You mean?
You never had a White Claw?
I never had it. No, I refuse. Cause I had Truly. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Just no mas.
It's not.
No mas.
In honor of Black History Month, you will not support White Claw at this moment in time. Keep it moving.
Thank you.
Keep
it moving.
Josh, what you drinking, pal?
Oh, jeez. So I just got the bottoms up white table wine bottoms up. It is from M&W, and that's, I want to say, Mason Noir Wines, which just means Black House. Really cool, black-owned stuff. 2018 bottoms up is predominantly Riesling with Pinot Blanc and some French word playing a small supporting role. Chin-dripping peaches, aromatic citrus, great acidity, and just a kiss of sweetness. So that's what I'm rocking out with. I do have a glass. I'm not crazy, but
You're not too.
All I need is a brown paper
You said
bag.
bottoms up, right?
Right.
Sticking with our theme, I am finishing. Sylvia, no!
What?
Pokemon down! Pokemon down!
Sylveon's had a little bit too much. I'm still drinking the Black Girl Magic Rosé. It's very nice. I'm probably going to finish this bottle. If Sylveon don't get to it first, slow your roll. Slow your roll.
Sylveon's.
But okay, starting, we got.
Nope.
Don't try to escape Lil Slippy. You can't escape Lil Slippy.
Know thyself, King.
Speaking of Lil Slippy, start us with our news, man. What you got, man? What's going on in the world?
But shout out to Bottoms Up. It's really nice. News. News. All right. I don't have that much. I don't think. Oh, actually, I might. But all right. So first, this is silly news. Not really this isn't gonna surprise, or you shouldn't go act on this.
It's not earth
It's not
shattering.
earth-shattering. It's just I thought it was funny. So apparently there is a Godzilla puppet show that goes on YouTube, and apparently it's getting a 3rd season. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
I didn't even know there was a first.
Right. It's this isn't something new. No, this has been happening, and it's getting a 3rd season.
Y'all ain't been up on it.
It's called Go Godzilla-Kun, a YouTube puppet show that transforms the monstrous and human protagonists into adorable puppets engaged in giant monster mayhem. It's returning to Toho's Godzilla channel on YouTube for a 3rd season sometime in March of 2021.
Oh, this is legit. I didn't know it was gonna be Toho.
Yeah,
it's legit.
They're trying to milk that cow, Final Evangelion movie is going to be the 3rd longest animated film. The final Evangelion film will be the longest non-compilation, non-mashup film in the franchise, clocking in at 2 hours and 34 minutes, making it the 3rd longest animated film ever.
Strong.
And it will be dropping in 2077.
Right.
After correction, and then glitches.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
glitches.
Hot fixes, glitches.
The film has been reported as rated G for all audiences, which is
That's very wrong.
Yeah, that's like I can't just even seeing what was that 2.0 with what happened to Asuka. I'm not. That's not.
Yeah.
Just nah. I can't see that. But here is a short synopsis of the movie so far. Shinji Ikari, the cause of the third impact, has become derelict. Will he be able to rebuild himself? The animation tells the continuation of a story that has been locked away since 2012's Evangelion 3.0. So that's
all right.
That should be interesting. Whenever it drops, we're just patiently waiting. Whenever you're ready, we're ready.
Yep.
So
okay.
But yeah,
It's on all jokes aside, that is about the same. I think it has had about the same amount of delays as Cyberpunk. In all seriousness,
that's all the news I have.
Well, I have, I guess, a little news. We saw actually today, Mortal Kombat's trailer dropped.
Oh, I thought we were saving that for reviews. I didn't know.
We'll review it,
Okay.
but you know, as we all know, Mortal Kombat drops April 16th of 2021.
Okay.
As far as comic book goes, I'm slowly working through it right now. Marvel and DC aren't doing anything impressive.
You sound
it's
like you're in pain.
the King in Black main universe is the main. I'm trying to get through it because it's painful.
I get it,
But no, yeah. So right now they're still doing the King in Black event. Hopefully that wraps up. Other than that just being a ginormous retcon for symbiotes. Once again, don't know if it's going to really change the status quo. But I like what Donny Cates was doing with the Venom story up until this point. It's just, you ever get those main events where like everyone's involved, but at the same time none of them are really involved? Like that's
and nothing's like
They
really,
just show up.
it's just no. They released like 200 other comics or supporting comic stories, all wrapped up in the same event. And you're like, well, I don't really care what Black Cat's doing at this point in time. Why would I care?
Because she's going to steal something from the god. Yeah, she's going to bring it all together. You know,
she is.
Yeah.
I'm trying. So yeah, and then and then DC is still doing their Future State storyline or event. I don't even know if it's an event. It's just I feel like they were tired of people complaining about being tired of their main line of superheroes. So they thought they would shake it up by changing genders, changing races, changing ethnicities. And we'll get there.
I was about to say,
we will. We would.
The episode is coming.
Everybody, take note. Take note.
The episode is coming.
Take note.
Yeah, we almost there. But those are my news right now. It's very quiet in the comic book major industry. There was some rumor about fans buying out DC, but I was like, that's unsupported. So stop.
Strong rumors.
Strong.
In the world of video games, Nintendo dropped a direct to many a mixed review from Nintendo fans across the globe. But we'll link that. I'm not going to get super into it. You guys can read. There's some fun stuff coming. Other than that, Keith, do you have any news, sir?
As far as
not.
What was that?
Yeah, I kind of like dropped that on you. I was like, would you like to share with the class, Keith?
I mean, as far as news that I have, it's not too much about what you guys are on. It's more about like a politician fleeing Texas to Mexico.
Oh, the bull?
Right. During the snowstorm.
The bull just ran. He was like, oh, this is not for me.
Yeah, it's like, I don't like this. I'm out.
Like,
I got to go.
But him of all people to flee to Mexico. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Considering
he's going to build the wall. That's all it is.
From the other side. From the other side. That's what's happening.
Right.
He's going to go collect payment ahead of time,
right?
Seeing as they're going to be the ones paying for it, as that is a thing that could totally happen.
Yeah, he had to go there first because it's in his name, right? So he's the only one that can get the key.
He's starting from Cancun and working his way back.
And working his way back.
There we go.
But,
stay safe though.
So that's the news. Now let us go to some reviews. You come to the Blurb Bar only for the spiciest of them, okay?
Right.
Culture, cocktails, hot takes, cold drinks, spicy news.
Spice.
So for our reviews, we will be reviewing HBO
Max, yes. And theaters.
Judas. Oh, is
It is in theaters.
It's still theaters.
They still exist. That's impressive.
Actually, there was a theater that was built down the street from where I live, which is crazy. Like, why?
Built
Wait, by choice?
Like,
Like recently?
Like, new.
Okay.
They had to like plan that like 3 years beforehand. Like, it's going to drop in 2020. It's going to be genius because everybody's going to make vision puns. So Judas and the Black Messiah, starring Lakeith Stanfield, starring.
Real quick, is this like we're just gonna jump into that? That's all we're reviewing. Okay.
Do you have any other reviews outside of that?
I just wanted to real quick.
That is big, though.
That's a big one.
I feel your point.
Huge. I thought we were gonna get into like the Mortal Kombat, Cruella.
Oh,
you want to talk about WandaVision too? Are we doing that?
I mean, we could do a little bit of WandaVision.
It's comic books. Listen,
That's true. He's not wrong.
I'm fine with it.
All right. So real quick,
we got company. We got show out there. All right, we got.
Real quick. So
hit the little slip.
Now we really need a t-shirt. Anywho, so I finished Great Pretender on Netflix.
Oh, okay. People love that.
And it was cool. The first season, for me, I was like, oh, you're giving me heavy, Cowboy Bebop vibes. You're giving me, there was something else. It felt like Cowboy Bebop. Almost like a little bit like Lupin the Third, right? You know, with it being like a heisty thing. But it wasn't like I didn't really care for the characters. I was just watching it because I had heard offhandedly you say to Daniel Sterling that you were like, oh, I'm almost done Great Pretender. I was like, oh, I guess I should watch that. And then I watched it and I was like, okay, I mean, it's all right. The ending of it, I was like, oh, this wraps up a little bit more nicely than I was expecting.
I thank you for that review only because I stopped because I was bored.
Oh no!
Like,
yeah. It's just like
appreciate that.
It's cool, but as some not to be gatekeeping, but like as someone who grew up with like Lupin the Third and Cowboy Bebop, it was like you're almost there. You almost you're missing something. Like I don't really care about the characters that much. They're not bad characters. It wasn't a bad movie or show. It was just like, meh. I give it a 3. I give it 3 sake gourds. Cruella trailer. It just makes me want to watch 101 Dalmatians. I'm like, is there something that I missed? Is there something that I missed in? Is there something that I missed when they when Cruella was revealed as like as being? I know that she's the villain, but like, is there something along that storyline that I was like, oh, they could really take this and give us an origin story. And I'm just...
No, okay.
I have to rewatch it. That's all I'm saying. I have to rewatch 101 Dalmatians.
Sterling, before you go, let Keith go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Keith,
so when it comes to the first thing that you were talking about, is it kind of like when you go to somebody's like picnic or barbecue and they're not like you, but you eat the potato salad and you just like, this just don't have the flavor? Is that what you got from it?
For Great Pretender.
Yeah. It's like, it's not bad. It's just like...
Not enough salt. Not enough salt. No celery seeds. No paprika.
Yeah.
Who brought this? Who made...
There's not enough subtlety of mustard.
Who made the potato salad?
I'll eat it. It's
what's up with the raisins?
It wasn't that bad. There were no raisins.
It wasn't raisins. I don't feel like
raisins.
Great Pretender has been raisins.
No raisins.
I think it's just
not.
I just think it's like mayo and
not seasoned enough.
Mayo and potatoes.
Yeah, not seasoned enough. Very much so. Yeah.
It's just mayo and potatoes. No salt and pepper.
The consistency of the potato was just a little too soft. You got to get a little push.
And
like somebody left it in the car a little bit.
And with the second thing, the Cruella. that kind of reminds me of the Wizard of Oz book about the witch, Wicked. Wicked. Yes. That's about the Wicked Witch.
Make the villain relatable.
So right. So maybe Cruella can give us something that we didn't quite think, Maybe she's not evil. Maybe
maybe she's misunderstood.
Right. Maybe Dalmatian killed her parents, and just to feel better, she needs to wear their skin as a coat. Maybe.
Right. Keith, we thank you for joining us. You have a blessed night. What you not gonna do on this podcast?
And here's my thing with it. And this is also a segue into the next thing. But I don't think it's gonna be a horrible movie. This is one of the first times where I'm literally just but why though? Not in a rude way. Not in a rude way. Just
weird flex.
Yeah, it's literally nobody asked for this. But
I have feelings. Right. I have feelings about this. So, watching the trailer, I watched it twice just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I watched it to make sure I understood the plot enough. Apparently, she's crazy.
Okay, we got that from the
crazy was what she said. She said she was crazy. That's it.
I ain't say it. That was
the movie said she crazy. Fine. But what I feel like we've done, I call this the Harley effect, right? The Harley effect. So the running mascara, the half crying, half maniacal laughter type shots, and she's not bad because she wants to be. Someone else was bad to her, which broke her. And now she's bad.
You think she's just looking?
And then
I think there's also an angle that I feel like they tried to push her, hint at that, she's looking for mommy's affection, and it just drove her to whoever that older white lady was that she was oh, she gonna recognize me, put my dress on fire, bitch. Watch this. I was
did no one else?
I need to watch this.
Did no one else get
watch the trailer?
Did no one else get the Suicide Squad vibes that I got?
So
I got
actually, if I could, when I got Joker movie in jail, I got Heath Ledger Joker specifically, right? Not Joaquin.
See, I got the Harley Quinn,
which is fair. They got the same color scheme though, so that's fair.
That too.
So it got me. One, I was like, "Oh man, this is the dopest White Stripes video I ever seen." Once I was watching, I was like, "This is just kind of a Joker movie," and then that made me reevaluate. So I'm the hero arc.
Go ahead, I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay, you good?
I'm gonna let you finish.
Save that energy though. Save it. Just put it. I want the level 3 super. So just But I'm okay. So it broke down. So I'm what about this interests me? And I think the archetype of rebel genius who's also mad, trying to disrupt the status quo and prove that there are other ways opposed to sure, I'll take that. I think it's very interesting because Disney has been doing this thing where they're hey, look at our villains though, because they've had this show called The Descendants, which is supposed to be the kids of all the villains, and that's been running for a minute. I guess Maleficent did well enough to get another movie, so once they're money.
But
sure.
But all right, before you go further, that trope has been it's ran its course. It was a short trope. It's short. But hear me out, because what we do is now, and I've always thought
Josh
this as
over there
Josh is yeah, easy there. But it's always that concept of the hero is still a villain to
somebody.
To somebody, right?
You're a terrorist, is my freedom fighter.
Right. In less words than that, but yes.
Unless I'm not a dog, though.
But no,
she wanted to kill dogs, dog.
But
she wanted to kill dogs. But maybe it's a story about descent into madness, dogs, right?
Though.
We have the.
But the descent into madness is often the response. The fault often lies on who the hero would be in a traditional story, right? In Maleficent, it was the prince or the king. and he was doing right by his people. But he goes mad, therefore Maleficent goes mad.
No,
and
the king fucked her over.
Yes, but he was initially trying to be a good guy, holding out for his kingdom.
No, he wasn't.
Yes,
He was just trying.
He was thrust into power, and he said, "I'm gonna try to do me." And so he, listen, the story of self-interest is what I feel is what we keep getting to, and so
instead of the greater good,
the greater good, like self-interest is often the motive for a hero when they're doing these retellings of villains. It was just like, had you been thinking about being a good person overall, I wouldn't be a villain right now. I wouldn't have stole your baby. I wouldn't, like, you had a chance, but no, now I got to go out here and steal your baby. Like, that's how I feel. And that's how I feel like Cruella's going to be. But go ahead, Josh.
Please unleash your level 3 super.
So,
rain down from
not going to do.
have you guys seen that meme where the kid's dancing and they put in the Capcom Super and it's like a cannon?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, it's one of the best gifts ever.
Oh, you've been charging up. You've been.
No,
I see.
It just reminded me of what you said. But no, here's my thing with trying to compare it to Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
I'm not. I said not Joaquin.
Right. Well, you said Heath Ledger.
Like Heath Ledger.
You said Heath Ledger. But I have also seen. I've seen
Yeah.
other people say, "Oh, this is gonna be like the Joker," and I'm like, "That's disrespectful." One.
First of all, I don't like
One, watch your mouth.
Respect on his name.
Secondly, that tells me that you probably didn't see the movie. Like, that's like what the like. Really? That's what you? Okay. Anywho, and then I feel like with telling the villain story, Disney has been doing that more recently with like Maleficent and now Cruella. I feel as though with Maleficent they did it in a way, the first movie, they did it in a way that was really cool, and I was like, okay, that's like that's literally a reimagining of like what happened, a reimagining more adult version of what happened, and like I could see that being a thing. And I also didn't get that much information about Maleficent and Sleeping Beauty, right? She's just in the woods, turned into a dragon and shit. She's just, you know what I mean? She's just doing her. With
it was your daddy.
Right.
Your daddy did it.
It was a very different retelling. With 101 Dalmatians, if I'm not mistaken, once again, I got to go back and rewatch the movie. It's kind of like she steps in, like legit, like you guys are trash. Oh, but you got some puppies though. I want that. Yeah,
run them puppies.
Run them puppies.
And it's just like
puppies.
I'm not understanding why we need the origin of like what took her to that.
Oh, Josh, Disney likes money.
What's up?
It's kind of true. It's kind of true.
Oh yes, he speaks the true.
Wait, what happened?
Disney
I froze.
likes money.
Well, yes, that's very true. This is true. You've activated my trap card. Like Disney, he secures the bed. So yeah, it's just
What is it doing?
I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't think it's. I think it's going to be interesting. I don't know if it's going to be good, but it's going to be interesting.
Okay.
That's it.
So this has been. I know we still have a lot to review.
I'm sorry.
So I'm gonna table this. Get to Judas and the Black Messiah, but I want you to consider what's Disney after. They're trying to get Disney Plus subscriptions, right? Who's in the house and who's had streaming services and now has money? The millennials. You write a movie that speaks to the millennials, where it's just like, I want to flex on the boomers and Gen Xers, and it's like, yeah. And then when an article comes out, the Gen Z don't think we cool. It's like, oh man. But
it matters not what they think.
Right. Well,
They just got here.
don't forget to like, comment, and
damn,
subscribe.
they're like 20.
Don't forget to like, comment, and
very
subscribe. Buttons down
So
in the link.
We are going to go over to our big review of Judas and the Black Messiah. But before we do that, please take a moment. Get a glass of water. Hydration is important. Like, comment, subscribe. Look up the Muvioes podcast like, comment, subscribe, and link in the description. And let's get to it, gentlemen. Keith, you want to start us off on this one, my friend?
Actually, I was thinking about 30 coins. Like, I'm surprised that none of you talk about it. None of you seen it. It's like you guys being the video game and comic book like nerds that we are. Like,
that is true.
Here's
30 coins. 30 coins. Granted, there's subtitles and they don't slow down at all. Like, they're just flashing. But my goodness, amazing. Like the final episode came and like within the first 5 minutes, they're fighting a Devil May Cry type boss. Like in the first 5 minutes of the final. Come on,
This
come
is
on,
Netflix.
30 coins on HBO Max.
HBO
Max.
That makes sense.
30 coins. Freaking amazing. It's like a religious kind of how can I put it without ruining it? Religious story about like the power that comes from the coins that Judas received from yes, the dark powers that came from. It's incredible.
Well, I know we want to do this.
There you go. But moving
Join
on.
us next week for the next episode of Dragon Ball. No,
But getting on to the bigger story right now, Judas and the Black Messiah. I found it incredible. Incredible because it told a story of Will O'Neill and everything from his point of view and everything that he was dealing with. So if you come in and you're expecting something about Fred Hampton and something that you didn't already know about the Black Panthers, then yeah, you're probably in the wrong space because it's not that, but it does kind of humanize Will O'Neill, which not everyone's going to like. I mean,
no.
What was your takes?
Go ahead. Go. I mean, if you have more, please share.
I mean, I like how it definitely pointed out that how involved the FBI were in everything that took place. I love the connection between Hampton and his people, as well as Hampton and his wife, because like that was huge. Just like after Hampton gave some of his speeches, her reaction in the beginning, right? In the beginning, she was like all for his speeches, but you know what? You gotta tone it down. Yeah. Then, close to the end, she was just like, "Whoa, what you saying? You can't be saying that. I got, I got this going on." So I don't want to ruin it for people who don't know the story, but I definitely
it's history.
It.
So I feel like there's not really a spoiler alert. Because it's history.
I would disagree.
It's history. It's history. Fred Hampton is no longer with us. There's nothing.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that I disagree that we should keep it. We should have.
I'll play it safe because it's been out only a week. But I'm saying at the same time,
general spoiler rules.
The same time, my take on this is largely due to history, right? Like, I didn't grow up not knowing the story.
Oh, you flexing?
He is real hard.
Not flexing because this wasn't in homeschool. But
I mean, some of us went to white schools, so we didn't even hear about the Black Panthers until we went to college.
Oh,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, Fred Hampton, I didn't know about until I was in my 20s. But I'm just saying, when I did it, I read up on all of it, right? So that's how I feel about it. But anyway, okay, easy there, little Slippy.
Why'd he go to you though?
But I guess I'll give my review. I think this is a fault of myself, being so familiar with the real life people that were being portrayed. I think sometimes all I saw was Daniel Kaluuya being Daniel Kaluuya as a great actor, not really being Fred Hampton. I think the cast was great, But I think because of the age gap, keep in mind, Fred Hampton was 21 years old when he died.
Wild, dude. Wild.
You know, all of these actors were well over their 30s or in their 30s playing supposedly teenagers, because everyone at that Black Panther party, as mature as their thought process was, they were kids, right? So I think sometimes that like disengaged me a bit from it. They were great actors and did great storytelling, but at the same time I got disconnected a few times. It was like, all right, him a little old, but it's okay. I do appreciate the story being told from William O'Neill's perspective, given that he only gave one interview in his life, and so to glean all of that, glean most of the story from that one interview, and then to kind of speckle it in with other accounts and Deborah Johnson still surviving that encounter and all that. It's a beautiful thing that we were able to see another piece of history being cinematically shown. At the same time, this only reinforces like my brain still got very angry very quickly. Whenever I see somebody playing somebody like J. Edgar Hoover, whenever you see him on screen, that is one of them niggas that just be like, oh, I'm so glad you don't live on site. Like if I did I'm so glad he does not walk this earth anymore, because he one of them people that I would just be like, ugh. Oh God, he just every time I see somebody portraying him, I'm just like, oh, now I don't like them that much anymore. And I was like,
now I don't like the actor.
Yeah, and I was like, and Martin Sheen did an amazing job.
Oh, Martin Sheen killed it.
He can't. If there was anyone who camouflaged that role, he was the only person I was like, that Martin Sheen. That's Martin Sheen. Oh my God. Oh my God. And I was like, okay. But other than that, I think it didn't shy away from the darker parts of the Chicago section or the Illinois section of the Black Panthers, because there was violence. There was a rhetoric that was, while it was revolutionary, it was also, problematic for the people that it was against. It wouldn't have been problematic for me, but other people, it was problematic. So you
could say it. It's Black History Month.
No, but I mean, even then, right? Like, he wasn't racist. Fred Hampton wasn't racist.
That's true.
It was his hatred was directed toward an established government, right? So, it didn't shy away from those parts, and I think that was the beauty of this movie, because normally, if this was on like a TV film or something like that, it would be like, oh, we can't say that. But if I had to give it out of 5 of my Ram's horns, drinking horns, I give it about a 3.5. It was a solid movie.
Really?
I don't think
everybody's eyebrows.
Everybody was just like, no, like I feel like because of the story already being, the source material already being available, I think Lakeith Stanfield did a great job of emoting, but I don't think the overall story made me transported me there. That's just for me. Cool. But I'm done now. Go ahead. Josh is so ready.
Well, before I do that, Keith, we talked about it before, and I actually rendered it up. So you have a guest chalice. How many chalices would you give Judas and the Black Messiah out of 5?
Out of 5.
No, you know what? You know what? As good of a movie as it was, I do see where Big Dan is coming from, and he actually does have a point. However, I give it a little more credit just because, I mean, not everyone wants to read all of the various books and literature that's associated with that. So
and declassified documents from the FBI.
So for them to put it together the way that they did, Shaka King, Ryan Coogler, the Lucas brothers, just all putting it together the way that they had, I actually give it 4 out of 5.
That's cool.
Not bad. Like I said, I came from a different perspective with it. I don't think it was a bad movie. I just, if it gets nominated for an Academy Award, it's because of its source material, not necessarily its delivery.
Okay. All right, just putting it on.
I said what I said. Y'all can fight me later.
Really? See, I just don't want. I just don't want the Academy to run up on the Blurb Bar.
Hey,
because we got the Academy, we got Rami Malek, we got
the whole Muvioes podcast behind you. Okay, you good? You good in these streets? Good in these streets.
So, all right. So, I'll explain how I watched it. Over the past weekend, we were down in Lexington, Virginia for Valentine's Day.
Stay safe, King.
Right. No, we made it back. So, sorry, that's a tangent.
You got your green book.
So we actually went to the movie theaters because we were just looking for something to do. There were movie theaters. It was playing. I was like, oh snap! I actually did want to see that. She's like, okay, let's go see it. So we went and saw it. We missed like the first scene. Literally like the first 5-10 minutes or whatever. Came in when he was already we missed the first scene. And so so going into it, I just knew that it was Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield, and it seemed to I was just intrigued. I'm always down for whatever they do, and that the way that the trailer was shot, I was like, I'm in. Sure, why not?
Say less. Yeah. Wait, who? Oh yeah.
Pretty much. So went in and then found out that it was about the Black Panthers and everything. I was like, oh, cool. All right. So watched it, and then I was like, oh snap! At the end, and then the credits started rolling, and they retell the whole story. Well, not retell the whole story, but tell the story. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Then I saw that, got back home, saw that Kev on stage on his show, Here's the Thing, they were going to talk about it. And I was like, oh, I want to really have my own opinion from beginning to end before I go into
Before.
So then I watched it over from beginning to end earlier this week. And that's when I saw like, oh, based on true events. I was like, oh, snap. And then I saw the Kev on stage or whatever. But I literally did not know this story. And I don't think that is a rare occurrence in the way that education is ran in this country. There's definitely like Tulsa.
Oh, you preaching out here.
Tulsa, like I heard about it when there was that video going around when we were like when people not us were destroying targets and
not us
we're destroying targets, and then that lady like popped off about it and like talked about talked about Tulsa and stuff. And I was like, oh snap, like that happened, and then I looked all that up and yada yada yada. So I do think that there is a necessary need, unfortunately, that the film media is like the gateway to learning all of these other things.
The visual aid, I would say.
Right. But it's still something where it's like, if they're not going to teach it to you in your schools, when are you going to really learn? You know what I mean? It depends on the curriculum of your school. Some of us are privileged to have that well-rounded. It is a privilege if you think about it.
No, you're right.
It's a privilege because like now you're privy to these things. So like for you, it's like something happens and you're like, there's a green flag down the road. I heard about them green flags. That shit's racist. And I'm like, what you mean? It's a green flag. It ain't nothing wrong with that. And like,
nope.
Green means no.
And then now I'm in the horror movie, and you're like, I tried to tell him. Like,
Dan, you're gonna have to be TS motherfucking.
I was going to say that.
So it's like I think that with that being the case of the education, this was really cool. And I was like, oh snap. And like now it opens my mind and it opens my world to other things that I can now look into. Do I wish that was the only way? No, because as you said, at the end of the movie, I was triggered AF. Like, and that's why I texted y'all. I was like, I saw Judas and the Black Messiah, and that's all I can say about it at this moment. Because I had literally just walked out of the movie theaters, and I was like,
gotta take a deep breath.
Gotta be white people.
And that happens. That happens every time I see kind of these movies, and I'm just like, part of me is like almost avoiding them now, especially if they're based on true events. If they're based on true events, I'll read it, or I probably already have read it. So if it's something I haven't heard, I'll filter. But a visual sometimes get me to the point where I'm like, the next person I see who don't look like me getting hands.
So literally back in high school, all 4 years, of course, like, you know, February comes around and we watch all of the stuffs and like La Amistad.
Pretty much.
Then it's just like, and I literally got to a point by the end of like high school, I was like, I'm tired of feeling upset at white people. I get they did some fucked up shit, but I'm literally tired right now at being upset.
That's fair.
At white people. And it's just like, I don't want to feel that anymore. And like, if it happens, great. It happens. And like, because of education, like, or because of the way I've been educated, it's like you handle it a certain way. But I'm tired of
because you don't want to go to jail.
Right.
That's why you handle it a certain way.
But I'm tired of like going into the movies and coming out ready to like rage against the world. What I did, rage against, you know, the machine, not the world, just the machine, which is white people.
No, sometimes it's people. Sometimes it's just people. I really quick, small story. I was in whatever really quick, because now you got me in my feelings. The Spike Lee movie, the last one he did with Denzel Washington's son about the cop. Why can't I remember the name?
Oh, so you're talking about John David Washington?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he plays a cop that infiltrates like a white-only police force or something like that.
Oh, Black Klansman.
With Adam Driver.
Black
Klansman.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Klansman. Yeah.
And the end of that movie. So we're in the movie theater, and all I hear is white people going. And I wanted to turn around so bad and be like, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Don't make me come over there. I will slap you.
Lord.
I will slap you with your own popcorn. Don't make me come over there. They're sitting there. This is so awful. Stop it. And I was like, stop it. Stop it. Shut up.
Shut up.
Take your popcorn and shut up.
Yeah.
You need
to leave.
So,
but go ahead.
But yeah, so
go ahead, Josh.
So there was that feeling in it, but outside of that, I thought it was a really great story. Telling it from I almost said a thing that would have like ruined it. I mean, unless you've been reading books.
Oh, I feel attacked.
It's just that
it was right here.
The only thing is, it's just like there is so much stuff that we just do not know, and because it isn't taught, and you have to go like, you have to know to even go searching for it, where it's like to be demonized for not knowing it, right? And I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, but it's just like
No.
there will be like, I'm sure, like, when we get big enough and people like read this episode or listen to this episode, like, oh my goodness,
brother.
you didn't know about, like, I'm sure like
brother,
Dr.
you did
Umar is
not
gonna be
read.
like, number 3, like.
He's not even gonna say that. He's just gonna give you the stare.
Excuse me.
You must have
Please
been
donate
hanging
to
out
my
with
school that does not exist.
And it's like,
Sorry.
I'm not trying, like, I want to know these things, but I don't know what I don't know. Anywho,
Right.
So yeah, being told from Bill's perspective, it was like, I understand that you're in a tight spot, but also,
Nigga.
But like
I get it, and at the same time, it still worked within me. Yeah.
Sometimes it's not even us; it's the ancestors, man. It's
It was just it was a wild ride. Now on to the acting performances. Because once again, because I didn't know what I didn't know, I was just like, oh, Daniel Kaluuya is like really just showing his ass out
doing
here.
it.
He's
doing it.
He's doing the thing. Lakeith Stanfield, to his credit, it was, I don't know if it's like he's been typecasted yet, but a lot of his stuff seems like a man unhinged.
Yes.
even Knives Out.
Even what?
Yes.
Knives Out.
No, Knives Out. He was very like.
Knives Out was
plain Jane.
different. Knives Out was different.
Knives Out was different.
He wasn't unhinged. He was normal. He was normal. I take that back.
No, he was but he was like also a very B character. Like he wasn't like he didn't have the majority of his scenes weren't like him dominating.
But yeah, a lot of
And it's same with Uncut Gems, right? Very side.
but
character.
so I'll say a lot of things that I've seen him in, he seems like he's typecast as like an unhinged man. And so I was like, oh, cool, Lakeith being Lakeith. It was still
that's what he does.
Yeah, it was still an awesome performance. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it wasn't. And then like literally everybody else that showed up in that movie just gave an awesome performance. Where it's like, as like an aspiring thespian, it's like it's cool to see that group of people because they're all around the same age. And it's like that they're like hanging out together and like growing together, and like I really hope that they do go on to do bigger and better things. And I think that that's just the trajectory of their career, So me personally, with all of that going into the movie and then seeing it again, I have to give it a 4.5 because I think that I give it a 4.5 because I thought it was a really good movie and really greatly executed and really greatly acted. The 0.5 deficit is because personally, I am still tired of hating white people after seeing a movie. I hate going out of the movie and being like, now I gotta go like scalp 3 white people. Like it's just like I hate that.
This is a joke.
This was a joke. This was all a joke.
I
or not.
I don't like having that like drummed up within me. Because it's just like, this is why I can't trust none of y'all, right? Like, and it's like we're trying to be
you valid on
we're
that.
trying to be better. We're trying to like grow together as a community. But like that's just a personal thing. That's the only reason why. So if you're fine with that, feeling, you probably give it a 5. I personally give it a 4.5.
I mean, just wait until they're making movies about the stuff that happened with
About
us
2020?
last year. Exactly.
2020?
Like real movies.
Right.
It's gonna be real different when we're watching something and be like, whoa.
And then you see the FBI sitting in like BLM meetings and putting out bricks in front of police stations and then throwing those same bricks at their own police. Never mind. I'm sorry. Darkest timeline. Anyway, Sterling, you still got your review.
I'm gonna be real swift because I mean you guys covered a lot. I really appreciate hearing your perspectives and hearing everything. Oh, that tea good, Keith.
That's exactly where I was going.
that ain't none of my business. My favorite. So this was a story that I did not hear until I was in undergrad, in the declassification of the FBI files came out, and I read the FBI files, and it was wild to me because I was like, because it's like, this is declassified SPI files. Like, there's stuff redacted in there, and I'm like, this is real. This really happened. This isn't a story of any kind. This is real. So, seeing it come across as well executed as a film as it was just a very solid film. Where if you did not know the story, you could have been like, oh man, dang, what is this, like an adaptation from a novel? What is this? Some crazy espionage stuff. And it's like, no, this is Black history.
History. It's history. It's history. It is the dark past of America. It is history. Not Black history. It ain't our history. It ain't they history. It is history.
And recent history.
And recent history. Less than 50 years. Like, it's 50 years. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
See?
No, you're good. No, that's fine.
I'm a fan of you. I'm fanning you.
Before I watched it, I actually saw my mentor, Kevin, post a status. He was like, hey, Black people, if you're watching Judas and the Black Peace, take care of yourself. Take care. And the Black Messiah, I'm sorry. Take care of yourself, you know? Yeah. And I think it is very important where if we get to a point as a people where we're like, we see a movie and we're like, hey, we recognize that importance, but I'm not watching that. And that, like, that's care. And that's completely understandable. But anyway, for review, definitely going 4.3 out of 5 potion bottles, you know? I think it was a excellent story, excellently executed, well done. And then Shaka King has a interview with GQ, and it was excellent because they really detailed the study of what they went through to read and what it was like interacting with Fred Hampton Jr. as a consultant and him being like on set. And that's like, it gave a completely different perspective to see the intensity, the respect, because like he gave this what it deserved. Like the sheer amount of investment, and that also moved me. So seeing that behind the scenes interview was the GQ. I'll link it. But yeah, 4.3, excellent film. I was also very upset. I took a break to grab some more food, and my roommate was like, "Dude, are you okay?" And I was like, "Nah, man, it's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard because it messes me up that to see the year, and it's like." No, my grandma was like a teenager, like my grandmother, not, you know, and said like, I could call her right now.
Yeah, my mom was a teenager. Like, that's how crazy it is. Yeah. My mom was 15 years old.
You're like, and to your point, Daniel, when you learned that he was 21,
that hurt so bad. Just like, he was literally a kid.
Actually,
just like, my little brother is 21.
He's younger than what we are now.
Yeah. And then when you think about like, and they talked about this on Here's the Thing, it's like, that's what he was doing 2021, like the whole Rainbow Coalition and all that stuff. And like, exactly. Like what the world would have looked like that trajectory of like what could have happened. It's just more like fuel for like the enraging, triggering inferno. It's just like, I can't think about these things right now. Because
when you start going down that list,
you want to know.
When you start going down that list, because that's why they start putting us into the curriculum that they did when, you know, in our age group, because they wanted to pacify us. Like, you can't keep creating revolutionaries. If you keep doing that, what happens is we start to outnumber people real quick. And so what do? You start giving them the dumb stuff. Learn algebra. You know, like
this Pythagorean theorem, bro.
Like,
hold that.
When you hear him talk, the way he talked, like with such a knowledge of the existing world, like this man was well read.
Yes.
At 21, like I'm still getting there. This man was well read, and so you're sitting there and you're like, what if we were all well read at 21?
No.
There would have been no storm the Capitol. These niggas would have been at their homes, quiet. That would have been quiet because we would have been reading.
But it's beautiful. It's why taking that fire and that, because it really made me sit with myself and like think about myself. And I am at my core passion, and I have to ask myself what that looks like. And it's important to know, like, and we're gonna wrap up with this because we still got a whole.
This isn't even the main content.
This wasn't even the main content.
But we could have a whole episode.
We got time.
Yeah, but I think it's really important to remember that, like, when he said, like, you can kill a revolutionary, you can't kill a revolution. Because it's very true.
Can't kill a revolution.
Yes, just like that.
Just like that.
Good job. You gonna put that in your reel or no?
Definitely.
You send that to your agent or no? But it's very important to remember that, change, society isn't this big amorphous blob thing of like, no, it's each and every person. It's beliefs in people, and these things can change, and it is on us to continue to push for the change that we deserve. And I'm gonna wrap up with that because I don't want to pop up. We all of us in here tight, boy. We all ready. Ready.
I'm ready. After this, I'm gonna probably have to play like some Call of Duty or something just so I can just like.
I see the colors, green, black, and red right there. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, you
already know.
You know.
So,
woo. So, I guess it's on me to introduce our main segment of the evening.
Is so much less untriggering.
Yeah, I was about to say, for all black people watching, get some water, take some time to yourself. You need to
pause the video, come back.
Come back. All right, go. You back? You good? You all right?
Ooh.
Okay.
I don't even know if I'm ready. I don't even know if I'm ready anymore.
Big Day, you need a break?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You need some time. We are going to talk about, quote unquote, race bending. When we're in an adaptation, taking a character that in the original source material was presented as one race, and then in the adaptation, presenting them as another. We're going to talk about such things as like, where is the line between inclusion and pandering? And, Keith, if you want to lead us off, if you have any notes, if you have any questions, I'm not trying to put the spotlight on you. We are prepared over here. I do have a couple of questions, but you're the guest. Want to serve your plate first?
There is so much where there's race bending and attempting to pander. Now, oh my goodness, I really don't know where to start. I really don't. Like,
give us some good examples. Let's cheer ourselves up first.
Plenty of examples.
Let's start with some of your examples, Sterling. I want to start this off. Let's go.
No, you're good. You're good. So we have Domino in Deadpool 2. We have Cassandra Cain in Birds of Prey. We have Maxwell Lord in Wonder Woman 1984. Now I don't know. This leads into an interesting question. Because the character of Maxwell Lord in Wonder Woman 1984, it was never discussed about his heritage, but he is an originally white character in the comics being portrayed by a man of Hispanic descent. And then also, piggybacking off of that, Pedro Pascal, Joel in the Last of Us HBO series has been confirmed to be Pedro Pascal. We have Aqualad from Young Justice, the Young Justice cartoon. He was black. We have A-Train from The Boys.
Quick question.
Quid pro go.
Yes. Cassandra Cain and Birds of Prey, like the old WB show from like way back when?
Oh no, Harley Quinn.
Harley
the movie.
Quinn. Yeah.
Oh.
I thought
You forgot it existed.
No. Hold on. Wait. So
Cassandra
Cain was played by
Journey Smollett.
No.
Smollett.
No. That was Dinah. That was Black.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Black Canary. You're right.
So is it not Cassandra Cain? Because Cassandra Cain was definitely played by a white woman.
No, she was played by a little Asian girl.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
She was. Okay.
Yep.
So then you might as well throw Journey in there as well for
Black Canary.
Black Canary. Right.
Black Canary. You're right. And as the more we talk about it, we're just going to keep that. Like even Lakeith Stanfield as L in Netflix's Death Note. I completely forgot about it until we talked about it.
Wait, what?
We have
L definitely was
Lakeith
not
Stanfield
black.
was L.
He was L.
Wait, in the Netflix?
In Netflix's Death Note.
Netflix is Death
you're
Note.
fine. You're fine. You don't have to watch it. You're okay.
No, look on your face. So much disappointment.
Josh quit.
You were so
Josh
disappointed.
Retire for the night.
You were so disappointed. Oh my goodness. Josh was like, "Oh, I just gave this man all this praise and he did that." You look so betrayed.
He was
legit. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No, he was the best part of it. He was the best part of the film. His performance was still great. It was just in Netflix's Death Note.
Now Sterling, these are you're listing good choices.
I'm listing numbers. I'm going numbers. We could talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Call back.
Let's
But I'm just listing numbers. I'm just listing examples. We have Hamilton in general. And then I'm going to say this right now. This is probably one of the worst things on this list, which is Darwin from X-Men First Class. I am going to pop off. If you know what, Big Dan, if you're already ready to pop off, I know because we as the black community pop off about Darwin. Big Dan, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right.
I didn't understand. I didn't understand why people would be so upset. I was just upset because of course the black guy dies. Da, 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 da. But then I started.
That's the problem.
And then I saw the comments of why he shouldn't have died because of his mutant abilities, and I was like, oh, that wasn't a good look, X-Men. That wasn't Fox Studios. Come on, you should have known better.
So, finishing up the list, we have Crazy Jane from DC's Doom Patrol, who was originally white, portrayed by a Hispanic lady. We have the Power Rangers 2017, which was a whole bunch of jumbling, and this is going to be a great point for a point that I'm going to touch on later. But we had Billy coming in as a black guy. Zach was Asian. Trini was some type of Hispanic. I don't know specifically.
Was Zach Asian?
Didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
The first movie?
Yeah. Zach.
The remake.
Power Rangers 2017, the remake.
Oh.
With Bryan Cranston as Zordon.
With
I forgot it.
The weird product placement about donuts.
No, you didn't.
I did. I remember parts of it, but go ahead.
It's okay. It's a repressed memory.
And then and then so that ends up my list. If there's Heimdall from as Idris Elba. And as honorable mention, because this is the point, I don't know if we're going to be able to get to it, but I'm very interested to talk about, which is Starfire from DC's Titans.
She had a lot of...
Everybody we had the organ on us.
So let's open with that. I'm going to start with that.
Ariel.
Ariel.
The mermaid.
That's on the list.
So I think the point I definitely want to talk on, because the question about the line of pandering versus inclusion. We have to remember that we as a people were kept out, and then we have to remember that the writings, and not only were we kept out by the higher class of society, which happened to be at the time be white people. I'm not specifically angry at white people. It's just social hierarchy,
which still is. You said was.
But
still
there was
is.
A point in time.
Stop saying this point in time. Still is. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you live, but go ahead.
We're you done? Are you going to?
Oh, we in it now.
If you want to keep going.
We in it now.
But
we in the ish now. Somebody gotta shovel it. I'm with it. Let's go.
I did my shoveling.
Come on. I'm gonna let you finish.
While the white men were the center of everything, because white men thought that they were the center of everything, right? So in the stories that were being told, any stories that didn't include them, they were like, oh, no, we're not funding this, whatever. So not only were we kept out of their spaces, the stories that we could tell about us were not funded the same. It was not the same, So now what I want to start by saying, what appreciating is that the telling of these stories and I guess a benefit is a benefit of race bending is the decentering of white normativity, white being normal. And then as it lends into also the decentering of heteronormativity, the decentering of this is what a family has to look like. As we tell more stories, we get more perspectives. And then when we talk about adaptations and inclusions in these things, I think it totally boils down to treatment of the character, right? Because sometimes we're going to have characters that, being whatever walk of life that they are from, is integral to their character. In a previous podcast, we talked about Storm facing racism. We talked you can't not have that be a part of the character, because that is then cheapening what you are doing to the character. I think an example, the worst example is us popping off about Darwin. Is like, why did Darwin die? Why did you treat this character this way? You know, and in a foil, Domino wasn't treated any different way as a character. Like, it wasn't that her writing or she was cheapened as a character because she was being portrayed by a woman of color. So where's the line? Pandering versus inclusion, I think, is completely dependent on how the character is treated, written, and changed. What do you guys think?
I feel like in a lot of cases dealing with a story that is in the world as we know it, yes, it is very much how you treat the character. Unfortunately, we don't have that many people of color. Well, I'm gonna say black people. We don't have that many black people in
Specifically,
like science fiction stories, right? Like, so it's like you're not gonna see a sci-fi story and then aliens come down and it's a bunch of like highfalutin Vulcan ass, elf ass black people, right?
No, we're the green niggas. You already know that.
Keep up. That was episode 9.
Yes.
Keep up.
Shout out to Piccolo. But you know,
Shout out to Scoot.
right. So you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to see, and like, it's so interesting because you think of like, or even with I'm sure we're gonna talk about this, Finn in Star Wars, right? There was like
I'm gonna get that.
There was a moment. Oh god. So there was oh.
We gotta wait for him to come back.
No, he still has his headphones on. He's fine. There was a moment. Oh no, he didn't. I'm sorry. I'll wait. Okay, he's back. All right. So there was a moment where he was like, he was trying to like fix something on the ship or do something. He was like,
Oh, wait, Joy, please.
Yeah, he was like, Joy, please. And I was like, I caught that. I don't know if everybody else caught that, but I did. And like, on one hand, I appreciated it and found it very funny. On the other hand, I was like, oh, is that problematic?
What they
though?
giving that line to Odin?
It's like, I don't know if the ace pilot would have said that one though. So there are moments in that time. There are those type of moments where it's like, you know, somebody who's like so far out into the future, right? Where it shouldn't be a thing because like now you're having sex with like aliens. Like, surely humans aren't still like throwing slurs around.
I got some bad news about it.
Like,
Star Wars is a long time ago in a galaxy far away.
oh, that's true. So maybe they're.
It is.
It's like
They're
That's why
way
Billy.
advanced.
That's
It's
why
the
Billy
prequel,
D.
too.
Williams is very much Billy D. Williams.
so. It's interesting in that sense where it's like we don't see enough of us. Like, even if I do see a black person playing an alien or like a futuristic thing, it's just like, nigga, I know you know not to do that shit. Like, come on. Yo, melanin didn't tell you nothing. And like, that's bad on me, right? Like, but at the same time, like,
I can grow.
Wait.
I can grow.
Keith wants to make a point.
No, I mean, a big issue is the writers for black characters are people who don't know black people or don't hang around black people. And then, like, historically, no, we don't have stories about black people coming from space, but we have black people on the planet who existed who are being played by, I don't know, Elizabeth Taylor. You know, it's Cleopatra. You know, we have stuff like that. You know, somewhere down the line, I can see there's going to be a turn where Malcolm X is going to be played by
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, pretty much.
You heard it here first. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Don't tell me.
Like, They've been doing us so
Dan's
bad
predictions.
for years. They've been doing us so bad for years, and then when they do put a black person on the screen and make black people feel like they have a character who they can relate to in, that particular saga or story, i.e. Finn, then they give him like a minuscule role, like a character who doesn't even really need to be there. They
showed him in the trailers with a lightsaber. We thought we were getting another Jedi.
I mean, come on.
Listen, first of all,
Mace Windu can't be the only one.
No shade to Mace Windu. I love Mace Windu's character. But at the same time, it's a caricature of a black person in space. Because Sam Jackson is Sam Jackson.
Nigga, I want a gun.
Listen,
I'm a nigga.
Sam Jackson is always Sam Jackson wherever he goes. So
you know what? I will argue. I think Mace Windu, because and I'll save this because we are going to have a whole ass Star Wars episode. But my evaluation of Mace's writing was to be skeptical of Anakin. Right, was to always be the one who's
he did what we would all
he
did what all black people would have done in that scenario. All of a sudden, there's prophecy about a white man coming into an order that I had to work my behind off for. He's supposed to be centralized to it. I would be just as skeptical as Mace Windu.
That's our story, though, isn't it?
No. Yeah, we skeptical of everybody. But all right, so let's get center back on topic real fast, right? So is it pandering or is it inclusivity?
When is it pandering?
When is it?
When is it inclusive?
I think it's pandering when the writers, like you said, don't know how to write a black person. I think it's pandering when the placement is only for a dynamic coloring of, like, for us to be a set piece, right? Like, Darwin was very much a set piece. He was not a part of the first X-Men lineup, so that's why Darwin was going to get wiped. When I saw Darwin the first time I saw his name, I was like, first of all, Darwin in the comic books is like gray. He has no color because he can adapt. So I was like, okay, they made Darwin a black man, and I was like, I feel akin to this because Darwin has to adapt. Why? Because as a black nerd. I was like, "Oh, I got that power," but
I'm Darwin too,
right? But then at the same time, then if you watch, he dies from an internal injury, right? From taking on, I'm preaching for a second. Give me 1 second. He takes all the negative energy. He takes all the negative energy, and he's like, "Oh, to save these white folks, I got to internalize this stuff." Killing himself in the process with little to no recognition from his white counterparts. Where's my organ at, right? Anyway, so the injustice of Darwin could be obviously an episode in and of itself. We don't need to do that. That's the pandering, I think, sometimes, is because we just feel like, oh, yeah, we got a brother in this. And, also Bumblebee was in the episode or in the movie, but who remembers her? Nobody.
Was she a stripper?
Oh,
she was.
Oh wait, that was Pixie.
Yeah,
With the portals.
But she wasn't Pixie in that, was she? I think she was Bumblebee. I don't remember. Anyway,
you good?
But then inclusivity, I think, is when you see a Miles Morales.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Here's why. Because while he took the identity or the moniker of Spider-Man.
You really preaching on this pulpit, huh?
Oh, I am. Give me 1 second. Here's why. And this is something very near and dear to my heart because my wife will tell you, I'll be sitting there and see these brown folks and I'll be like, it's not going to land. I can tell you right now, it's not going to land.
Hold on. Let me be damn real quick. Now, here is a true inclusion example. If you turn to Miles Morales, Chapter 3. Now, if you see Miles Morales,
well,
come talk to me. I wish I had some help.
Well, I wish I had somebody. But listen, see, now you got me stuck in it.
I'm about to speak in tongues. Here we go.
But I think Miles Morales is a good example of inclusivity because, one, he's from a different universe. And at the same time grows into his own identity while carrying the moniker of Spider-Man, which is what Stan Lee had often preached. Anyone could be Spider-Man. So I think that's why it was acceptable. You're not getting a black Spider-Man. He's not a black Spider-Man. He's someone else who takes on the responsibility of being a hero. So I think that's why it works. You don't feel like, oh, you have to understand his struggle to understand why he's a hero. But you can relate because we're black and we can understand it. But, you know, it didn't feel as forced as Darwin does or as Finn was. They promised us so much and gave us so little. If that's not the epitome of every president that's ever used black folks as a podium, I don't know what is.
Are you saying
now? If that's not the premise of every president that have used black folk as a podium, I wish I had some help.
See, y'all gonna get me in trouble here. Y'all gotta stop.
That's Deacon Dan. That's Deacon Dan.
Deacon Dan over here.
Deacon Dan. But no, like, I'm being real, right? Like, it's one of them things. Like, we get these promises of a hero or a savior type, and then y'all got y'all 1400 yet? All right. So that's where I'm coming from with it. Everybody else can just go ahead and jump in. I'm done. I'll wait till it's my turn again.
You're closing. You're closing now. It's like,
I'm finna close. I'm finna close
because there are some good points here.
We're gonna open the doors to the church. We're gonna open the doors to the bar. Like, comment, and subscribe. Yes, you. But the question is, what specifically in adaptations, right? I guess now I have to ask, what do we want to see more of? Because I think, watching Power Rangers 2017, the actor, and I need to get his name, the actor that played Billy, they were phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. One of the best parts of the movie. But, and I guess this is a spoiler for everybody concerned about Power Rangers 2017, he dies. He dies. He dies. And so, as I was watching it, and as he was dying, and I was just like, and I'm like, well, we all know why that happened.
Because our blackness is a superpower. That's why.
It just feels really bad, right? So what are we looking for? And I'd like to actually piggyback off of Dan of the future past, asking, because when we were talking about adaptations before, he made the point of, like, are we asking the viewers to be colorblind? To say, like, okay, let's say, you know, the one super Doom Patrol fan is like, wait a minute, Crazy Jane isn't like this. Wait a minute. And I don't think, I would love to hear you guys' opinion on this, because to a degree, I think we are asking people to be colorblind, but challenging people and asking them what else makes this character this character. What, going beyond, because it's not, I guess maybe we're not being colorblind, because we say, hey, I see that, but what else do they nail? What else makes Crazy Jane Crazy Jane? What else makes Maxwell Lord? Like, Maxwell Lord's ridiculous amount of charisma, right? Like, that was a selling point. I think Pedro did absolutely amazing. You can tell him I said so.
I did not think he did amazing, but go ahead.
You told us.
No, I did. I'm not going to linger on it.
But so my question is, you know, what do we want to see if we are going to see characters being switched to different walks of life, or specifically people of color when they weren't?
Keith?
See, I'm not really liking the changing of gender or race, just because it's hard. Like, people have that preconceived notion of who that person is, what that person's background story is, so on and so forth. And it doesn't really help towards that person's struggle or what that person's been through in life, which can relate to its core audience that you change this race or gender to. So I would like to see new characters, new storylines, because
nope, not that. Not that one. Where's the applause button? I forgot it. Where is it?
I think
there we go.
On the left.
Thank you.
because we're just putting a Band-Aid on a destroyed
On a broken
man.
bone.
Yeah,
Band-Aid on a
much.
broken bone. I like that. Oh man. I'm a piggyback off of that because I like that. I think
Keith, you can stay. You can come on.
I like you. I like that. But no, like for real, like you said, we already have established characters, right? Like Romeo and Juliet is Romeo and Juliet. Regardless of how you feel about it, that's their names. They have their stories written out for them. Now, there is a beauty that with those roles, that could be anybody because it's on paper, right? Mm-hmm. There's certain things when you start having the visual medium that Superman is a squared chin, broad-shouldered, double-barreled chest, no waist having, no ankle having, obviously
underwear.
Right, obviously needs no cup because his pants, his underwear, just like smooth right across the waist. But no, like,
look,
I don't think we've ever need. My argument's often been, I don't think we've ever needed a black Superman.
Sorry, Michael.
We got one.
We've gotten them, but I don't think we need one. And the reason why is because a black Superman would have to overcome more than just being Superman.
Much.
Which is why I had the issue, and we'll see how they do with Falcon and Winter Soldier. But when they made Sam Captain America in the comic books, they talked more about his struggle of perception, like America's perception of him, versus him actually being Captain America. Like, he fought Nazis one time.
It was wild. Remember when they used real tweets?
So they were using
Nick
Spencer. Nick Spencer was a genius for taking real tweets and like doing the "Not My Captain America" stuff. And I was like, yeah, you can't. Don't do that. Don't just give the man his own plain butter, bread. Keep him white. I'm fine with Captain America staying white. Captain America, because America doesn't necessarily define. Captain America is. While he's a man of a people,
from January 6th.
Captain America, while he's a man of... No. I understand the Patriot and, that, history will allow for Captain America to have been black before. The problem is the America that we currently live in does not supplement for a black Captain America.
And I think that's the crux of it, right? It's like, whenever I see a black character, like even with, and this is what we were talking about with Future State, right? And him being like a black Batman, I'm like, pero like, is that in like this? That's now?
What's
like,
that
future?
timeline looking like?
Like, yeah, I'm like, because
wait, this Earth 3, this Earth X,
like it's like. There's always gonna be that question of like, but like, how do you operate in this space, being who you are, when especially in Future State's example, where it's like, no nigga, we remember when Batman was white, so who the fuck are you? Like,
I mean,
it's a whole thing. And
let's be realistic. Sorry to cut you off, but a black Batman, we know what's really going to happen. The IRS is going to be in this shit every single second. So we wouldn't have time to do anything.
The police would move so fast on this vigilante.
I recently saw
we got a black man beating up random gangsters out here.
Right, yeah. I recently
No, they wouldn't be gangsters. They would be like law-abiding citizens or something like that.
Preach on it.
Some rival gang violence.
Some random nigga out here with a bat mask
fighting
on.
Another gang.
But so like I recently saw this. It's like a new. I almost called it anime. It's animated. I'll say that it's animated. And it comes from Trinidad and Tobago, and it's called Jumbie, and it looks legit like, oh snap. This is anime, but like geared towards black people, and it's just like, I mean, a very specific black section of Trinidad and Tobago, but like, it's still like when I saw it, I was like, I need to watch this. I need to see this. Like, this needs to be a thing right now. I'm down for all of the seasons. And it's just like, that's cool because that's a new superhero. It's a new like mythology to build off of. Like it's a new like we have the technology.
We have the technology.
we have the like even BlackSands, right? Like you have all the mythos to like create these new and different stories to tell. I mean, some people, Dr. Umar, might think that, you know, we're already using those mythos with certain things.
Don't even invoke his name in this bar.
Right? But
then kill the episode.
Right.
The double-sided
You done
axe.
you done took all the air out of this episode.
But no, it's legit. It's one of those things where it's like, I think that there is enough there, and there is enough. We have enough of a foot in the door that we can grow and actually put out quality content of new things where it's like we don't necessarily need a revamped POC Rainbow Coalition Justice League, right? Like it's cool that it's there, sure, but as Dan said in a previous episode, when you change things too much, you start effing up with the money, right? So it's like, cool.
Woke
right.
is broken.
But when you mess with the money, then all they do is just double back.
Right, so like,
And they're like, all the white people are fine. The white heroes are safe. They're safe. You don't have to worry about it.
Right, so
we
it's
just
like,
did a thing. We just did a thing.
Pocket dimension.
Right.
Pocket dimension. Pocket
so
dimension.
I feel like we'd rather not, or I will say that I would rather not even have to go down that road of like wondering if this black Batman is actually going to be Batman for like the next 50 years. Because we've had a white Batman for at least 8, you know what I mean? So, right, and then, like, we already know the answer to that. So it's like,
Batman's
just
superhero.
Yeah, that's the answer.
So
Batman's greatest superpower is white privilege.
So just create a new black person. It's that's I think that's pretty much where it ends. It's like I think we just need new stuff, and I've talked about this with you guys earlier, where it's like the Americans. America doesn't know how to let go of certain things. With like
our
comic
history.
Books. Well, Jesus, that's not this podcast.
My man is on. Please come on my podcast. Please.
Deacon Dan.
I'm with you.
Deacon
Just send me
Dan.
my invite. I'm with you.
Oh,
Damn.
man.
Blur Bar on Muvioes podcast.
Wait,
we'll
so-
let you know about it.
So wait, I'm curious. Are you saying that Christopher Columbus, his statue should still be up here? Is that what you're just saying? Just let them have their toys?
No,
I am wilding. I'm sorry.
that's not what I'm saying
wild.
at all.
Okay. No.
You wild.
What I am saying is that I think we don't need. We just need new content. I think to have a painting over of Batman in black Crayola is just like sure.
No, it's watercolors.
If
It's
you're
watercolors.
going to if you're gonna wash it off if you're gonna wash it off anyway, why? So I think that's kind of where it is.
Do you think we have time to get into the Starfire dealio?
Oh, we got time. Let's go. We got time.
You sure?
That might be like the
making
last
time.
one. That might be the last one.
All right. Sorry.
So, in DC's Titans, for all 75 people who have watched,
Not me.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Starfire is portrayed the actress that plays Starfire is a black woman, right? So this presents a very interesting dealio because it asks the questions of what makes Starfire Starfire, because orange people don't exist.
So hold on. To that point, and I was literally just thinking about this. Do you think if they would have got Journey Smollett or some other fairer skinned black person, color? Hey, we here.
We ain't even touching the colorism yet. That's a different episode. Keith has gotta come back. Keith gotta come back.
But do you think because we say they recast the Starfire as a black person, and we kind of just glossed over that. But it's no, they recast the Starfire as a black person.
She chocolate.
And I love it.
There's no guessing. There's no like, oh, like is
There's
she
no
like,
racial ambiguity.
Could she be something
Racial
mixed?
ambiguity.
Is this Rashida Jones' daughter? Like, what's this? Like no, she's black. Do you think
hella
if
black,
she
and I
would have
love
been?
it.
Yeah. Do you think if she would have been a Rashida Jones or a Journey Smollett or you know what I
You
mean?
gotta stop dropping her name, dog. The people about to run up. Just.
It is what it is.
Rashida Jones is welcome at the Blurb.
She is.
You know?
She is, and I think she would love that conversation because I'm sure she faced hella backlash for Black AF.
But that's the question, right? I think when is our blackness acceptable to the general populace, right? Like,
Well, Josh, to answer your question, I think the answer would be absolutely. It would be more palatable to people if she was lighter. If she was like Journey Smollett too.
I don't agree. And here's why I don't agree.
Keith had
Within the
feelings, too.
Keith got feelings, so I'm like,
I got
go
my
ahead,
own
Keith.
feelings about that.
Okay.
My thing is, I watched Titan, and I don't even know why. Okay, like
You woke up and chose violence.
Like
It is what it is.
Like the show was not good on so many levels, and it had absolutely nothing to do with any of the races of any of the characters. And by races, I mean human or alien. I'm not even talking about, the color aspect. There were sidekicks of superheroes that we didn't even know existed. Like, unless you watch Young Justice. Like,
Right.
let's be realistic. I had no idea that Wonder Woman had a sidekick. Where'd she come from?
Cassie.
Like, and they gave one to Aquaman. What?
Aqualad? Oh yeah, Tempest, my boy.
I didn't even know. I didn't know.
Aqualad been around though. Aqualad been around.
See,
Aqualad has.
But no,
been
to
around.
his
But
point,
I
that's
didn't-
that Young
yeah.
Justice stuff.
exactly. If you didn't
Before
watch
then,
Young Justice, you wouldn't know.
Aqualad was in the 60s. Him, Speedy, they
All right,
gave.
so I think
the
when
Titans
people
and all
think
that had
sidekicks though, like you think sidekicks,
They were legit sidekicks.
Robin, like Batman and Robin. Was there ever to the mass public Aquaman and
yes,
Aqualad?
yes,
Nah, nigga.
yes,
Yes.
Not.
yes, there was.
You can say no. It's a
don't think
publication.
that-
You can look it up.
Aqualad initially was a fish with a human body. It was strange. The
Why?
first
I'm with
one
you,
was.
Keith. I'm
Why?
with you, Keith. I understand.
Just why?
I
Just
understand
why?
what you're saying. It's just like,
Let's
wait,
get back to
what?
Starfire. Let's get back to Starfire.
But anyway, back to Starfire.
But yeah. So I think would she have still caught backlash for being black? Yes, of course. Because the centering is whiteness, and that's the problem. Where if Starfire is not orange, well, it's like, okay, best case scenario, she's orange. Next best case scenario,
She tan.
she's white. And then it's like to the general public, but like that's the centering of whiteness that we need to challenge. And that's kind of like, even though Titans was whatever it is, I appreciated that.
So-
which is a lot of
So
things.
once again,
But Dan, please, Deacon Dan,
Not
please,
Deacon.
to the pulpit.
But all right, so here and from the comic book and the nerd perspective, right? A lot of times you take what already exists and you try to build from it. So Starfire has been portrayed by Tara Strong, like voice acting. You have a lot of white people who have done her voice, and so
Right.
in your brain, like you said, the centralization of it is you hear white. She's aloof. She doesn't. She came to a planet.
Was that a problematic statement?
No, it actually goes to a movie that recently came out on Disney, right?
Oh, Soul.
What is it?
We talked
Don't
about
say
it. We
it.
talked about it.
Yes.
We talked about it. We talked about it. If you don't know, now you know. I got feelings.
Check out
yeah.
check
Oh,
out
yeah.
this
Episode
episode.
two.
Now out on
Yeah.
YouTube. Yeah, now out on YouTube.
But no, like you hear white, and so therefore, you default. Your brain defaults that if this is going to be a live action, then it's got to be white. Domino gets away with it because we've only really seen Domino on paper. Domino is all like ashen white, like painted white, and one color of black around her eye. So race bending that visually made sense because you go white out somebody's eye versus painting somebody ashen white and expecting for that to work. Starfire, you can't really paint somebody orange. We had a president who tried it, didn't work out. But Starfire had to be. She fell into the category of other, right? Like we've talked about this with Piccolo, and other characters.
Yeah. And
so because of her color scheme supposedly being so different from human anatomy, black folks, we other. I hate to say it, but based on the centralization of media and how they portray us, we're other. Yeah. So therefore, it made sense to pick a black woman. The issue then became, how dark should she be? Because the problem is, when we see a dark woman, we see attitude. That's the first problem. I don't care how you feel about it, whether your mama is lighter or darker. You see a dark woman, you think you finna get an attitude. So you think ghetto. Then you think uneducated. Then you think not articulate. And so the white fans, or black fans, even black men, male fans. I'm going there.
We are a problem.
And that's what I'm saying, because like we talk about this, but then we try to play it safe, and then even like safeguard our emotions. But like men, when we have a character that we like, one, Starfire is overly sexualized, has always been.
Yes,
always.
Wasn't she like a sex fiend in the comics?
Once she found out about it, yeah. So and because of that, then you say, well, I don't find dark-skinned women attractive. That's where you have an issue with Starfire. You don't want her casted because you don't find her attractive. That's on you. That's something you need to go work out, because as a closeted, listen, I don't have time.
Storm. Like, that's what I'm saying. I want her to play every black character in every movie. She was,
because other than that, when you see a dark woman playing a role, then it's suffrage, right? It's Harriet Tubman, it's the Sojourner Truth. She had to put in work, or had to be some level of systematic abuse for her to be able to be effective as a character. And rather than just enjoying the fact that she brought a character to life, you have a problem. So then you have the issue of colorism. Then you say, all right, she can still be black, but she has to be a certain shade. Then she has to be not dominant as a personality, because I did not feel that Journey Smollett portrayed Black Canary enough for me. Just as from the character who we have on paper and the character that has been written and fleshed out for years, she failed. Yeah. But I think the movie failed in general, so that I don't blame her.
They were trying to do
the movie failed. Come see me. You want to fight? You want to fight me?
There's no words.
There's a word. Right. You're arguing semantics now. But the argument being made about Starfire, or even the recasting for Batwoman, your issue is that her skin is dark. That's it. I'm fine with you saying that you got a problem with her skin color.
So wait, with the Batwoman thing though, honestly, I have not watched, because this is like season 2 or 3 now. 4?
No one's watching it. I didn't say I was watching it.
Nobody knows.
I
don't know what season they're on, but I feel like this is like at least
second
the
season.
Second season. I do wonder how they wrote that change. Like, is this another like future state? Like, oh, there's just like the Batwoman is a mantle, and now that so and so left from season 1. Obviously, her black best friend or somebody just was like, I need to be the next Batwoman, and I just happen to be black. I honestly don't know. I haven't watched the show. These are just my questions.
Your questions.
Maybe they Aunt Viv'd her in. Like that's probably what happened. Who knows? Who knows?
Or friggin' Sensei is like, does something happen to that? Yeah, I got a haircut. It's like,
now I have to watch it so I can find out.
But he said, "I'm
no. We have questions,
right?" But no, and so like I feel for real, like in those, because of those toxic spaces. I hate using the word toxic because it's been overused in the last year, but
I mean, it is what
it is. But because of that, I believe we should be very focused and motivated to create our own stuff. There are stories that have not been told that have been passed down for generations. Whether how you feel about Elizabeth Taylor playing Cleopatra, it happened. It's over with. Now we can tell those other stories. We can tell the stories that don't get told. And they don't all have to be suffering. I think that's often the problem is when we do the black recasting of the race bending. The next thing you know is you can't sit right. Like it's Falcon puts down his shield and he's like, that don't belong to you, right? Oh,
hey boy,
right.
What you doing with that shield right there, boy?
Right,
that's your shield, boy. You lost.
And so I think that,
but to piggyback off of your point, it would be nice to see that black superhero who's from the suburbs, middle class black kid who's never experienced some of the suffering that a lot of us experience. Because, somewhere there is that middle class kid who never experienced stuff like that.
Carlton Banks is
real. Yes. But that's all it is. Yeah. It's an inevitable because we live in this America. And I think largely, because Josh made a very valid point, and I don't know if he was aware of it, when he said it's from Trinidad into the Trinidadian animation. They can celebrate their culture because their culture is not steeped in, they may have racism, they may have injustices, but when you come through American medium, we had to have gone through something. It's because it's a reality that we still have to face. That one of us will walk outside and then randomly hear the N-word, nigger.
Yo, when I was younger, I really thought that was just kind of stuff that happened in sitcoms and not real life until it happened to me. And the weirdest part was I wasn't even really mad. I was just like, oh wow, it happened. Wow.
That's every time it happens though. It's just wow. You that's what you're saying now, huh?
Yeah. Nah, not that dude that had that twisted T. He said enough.
But no, you're good.
Go ahead, Big Dan.
I'm
you good?
Because I can go on this for a while and I don't want to.
Yeah.
Deacon Dan.
I'm gonna open the doors to the bar. We're calling last call for alcohol. Big Dan, you got what experience points are giving the people?
XP.
This is a long one.
No, if you said
a great one. First guest.
Yes.
This is achievement unlocked. Achievement unlocked.
Thank you.
But thank you, Keith.
Oh, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate that. I listen, man. If you ever need us,
let us know.
Just my
thing is, do I have you guys individually or do I have you guys collectively?
The answer is
because
yes.
I think individually would be amazing.
Oh, that's fine.
Each of you get your own.
Yeah, no.
Oh, wait, you trying to make Blurred Bar disassembled?
Everyone has a story.
We all got a story. I'm fine. I'm all fine with that.
That's awesome.
But yeah, as far as XP is concerned, we're going to give you the packaged weave of Starfire for your journeys.
Lord.
Listen, when you open this pack, you
not like this. Not like this.
You have all the power for 30 minutes.
Oh my god.
You take it how you feel, But when you look in that mirror, you're going to see a dark-skinned girl and you're going to love yourself. That's the plan.
Get a stamp on our
with a light pink weave.
With a light pink weave.
Why?
Light pink.
Why can't we get a shield, man?
Because this journey is unexpected.
It's like the third hair-based product.
Yeah.
Also, I want to play.
No, this journey is a journey, and it's different, and you got to be prepared for the unexpected.
I mean, in season 2, she had the dark hair.
Yeah.
So dang.
First of all, what we not going to do is act like only black women have weave. That's what we not going to do.
All right.
That's a whole nother episode. We can go into the boys and talk about that on the whole episode.
There we go.
Well, let's go.
But Keith, tell the people where they can find you, my guy.
So you can always find me, Muvioes Podcast. I am on Twitter as Muvioes Podcast, Instagram, Facebook, but most importantly, you can find it just anywhere that you can stream. So like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, just most places except for Amazon. I got a personal thing against that.
No, that's fair.
Don't we all?
That's fair. Burn down the hierarchy.
Once again, this is the Blurred Bar, serving up cocktails and culture. We thank you. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.